Welcome, Pisces. This reading is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. This is for December 2025. Let's see what Pisces has going on in December 2025. As I shuffle, a couple reminders. Please hit that thumbs up button. It really does help. And let me know where you're watching from. Give me a little comment, either where you're watching from or what's going on, anything that you want to share. Also, hit that subscribe button as well. That can also help my channel. Anything, please. Begging. No, I'm not begging. Well, I guess I kind of was, but didn't mean it that way. Let's get started. What do our Pisces need to know? Our current situation, please. Current situation. The Devil. Okay. Past influence. Past influence. Ten of Pentacles. Present influence. The Wheel. Okay, we've got a negative. Now a negative, I'll explain. It's not necessarily, it's things that can, it's not really obstacles either. It's out of your control. The Star, that's weird. Another sign had the Star in the negative. That's tough to read. Positive, please. Eight of Cups. And what you don't see. Seven of Pentacles, what to look for. Seven of Cups. Unexpected. Pisces, unexpected. Strength. Challenge. King of Wands. Okay. Future influence. The Fool. That's nice. And the outcome. Oh, Nine of Swords. Okay, where does this lead? Four of Swords. Four of Wands. And the High Priestess. Bottom of the deck is the Page of Pentacles. So you are working really hard at something. I'm going to use a major for the overall energy of the reading. The Empress. Do we have the Empress somewhere else? I thought I saw it. Maybe not. Okay. Here's the Empress. So that's our major for the reading. It's like you're trying to take care of something. I think that a lot of the times the Empress is that energy of nurturing, taking care, motherly type energy. It's interesting to me to see the Devil in the current situation. You're fighting off something here, something that you're attached to or an idea. Okay, so keep this open. This is a general reading, so it could be something you're attached to, like ideas. You think this is the only way, or maybe someone's making you believe that this is what you have to do for a job, or you have to earn this amount of money, or you're attached to an idea. It could be even deeper than that. It could be an addiction. And I mean, something that's keeping you from kind of really moving forward. However, you do have the Wheel in the present influence, which is talking about you're moving forward. The Ten of Pentacles in the past influence, I almost feel like you have some kind of attachment to a home or an idea of a home. If you're looking for a home, maybe you have an idea that you need to live in this area, this size, this many bedrooms, but really maybe that attachment is, you got to let it go a little bit. Maybe there's something that might be different from those specs, but might be better for you. Just that kind of idea. It also could be money. It could be a job. Ten of Pentacles is all about your stability, your money, home, job, family, extended family. And it could even be that everybody, it's going to be a little bit different. This is a collective reading, Let's get started. Let's start out with this. I'm going to start out with the wheel. Well, let's look at the Ten of Coins, Ten of Pentacles, the past influence here. Tell me more about this past influence. Wow. Okay, the Tower, the Star, the Five of Wands. I'm going to be honest. I feel like for some of you, it's kind of like a belief. Like this is, you believe that when things get shaken up, that the star comes in and makes things better. And you're really conflicted with that. So for some of you, that's what that is. And it's affecting like maybe your home, your money, your job. And you might be seeing this as a problem because the star is supposed to come after the tower. I mean, I'm really getting that feeling. And like for some of you, it might be just that, like you're going, well, wait, I had that tower moment. Now I'm supposed to have the star. Well, the star sometimes can take a while, to come through. So know that up front if that's what you're dealing with. For some of you, it's like, yeah, there was some kind of major thing that happened that changed in your life that was really important to you with the star there. It was like it almost, you feel like it was stripped away. Again, you've got the star in the negative. I'm going to explain. I feel like you kind of have these false hopes here, and it's not that I don't want to not give credit to them, but maybe you're looking at it wrong because there's a big conflict here though too. And that devil tells me there's an attachment, and attachments aren't always positive. Like if you're attached to a certain idea a certain way, then and that's not what's happening. How do you alchemate, or acclimate, that's the better word. I'm thinking alchemy because I had that card earlier. But how do you acclimate to the new surroundings, to the new ideas, to something different than what you're absolutely expecting? Because the star isn't necessarily that you will not get those dreams and wishes. It's just maybe not right now. You've got the wheel there too. It may be coming, but it just may take a while. So I'm not saying that this isn't a stressful situation. I think this is a really hard situation actually. And it makes it even harder with that devil, because that energy and that. So here's the Ten of Pentacles. I didn't pull it up. The Ten of Pentacles in your past influence. You've lost something here, I feel like. And it came from something sudden, and you feel like now you don't. Okay, so when I explain the other piece, that's a very specific few people that it would resonate with, but this is more in general. Like this is like, you you're expecting the star to show up, and you've got some real conflict about what's happening, because I think something might be showing up, but it's not what you think it should be. I know that's kind of blunt, and then maybe that's too blunt. Like what you were hoping for, what you were really thinking what would happen. Maybe dreaming too big for the now. It doesn't mean that you dreaming too big for the future, but maybe right now. Let's look at the wheel before I read the devil. So this is in your present influence. I think what's scary for you is you see as time moves on that you don't feel like things are changing. They are, because the future is the Fool. But you feel like I feel like that's a frustrating energy right now. But let's look at it, because maybe it's not. Maybe I'm wrong. Wheel, Queen of Wands, Five of Wands again. You're really conflicted about something, and I feel like, yeah, you feel like time's been taken away from you for some reason. The Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Swords there. The Queen of Wands, I feel like it's like there's this energy that you had, and you were excited, but something, again, like you got something taken away here. And that conflict is not going anywhere. And I feel like the reason why is because the wheel is telling me you feel like time's getting away. Like someone's stealing time, basically. The Seven of Swords is about stealing. You kind of feeling like someone's taking the time away. If I don't have time, how am I going to do this? What am I going to do? So it kind of feels like that energy to me. The devil, let's clarify the devil. So the devil is all about being attached to an idea, being stuck, being roped in, all of those things. And maybe you were roped into something that it's not fair or not right, or not honest. Tell me about this devil. What is this devil for our Pisces, please, in current situation? 3 cards, please. What is this? 9 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 2 of Wands. Yeah, there's something that's been hard. The 9 of Wands, 6 of Wands. I still feel like they're, like, I think like those 6 of Wands is there. You recognize this, and you recognize that you have to put in the plan. You've got everything you need to make things happen, to make things work. But I think that that's what you're stuck on, is that you should be getting recognized in some way, either by spirit or by, somebody else, someone specific, work, mate, partner. But the 2 of Wands is, also can be stuck energy. I don't normally consider Wands stuck, but he is at the point of planning. He grabs a hold of the Ace of Wands, new beginning, and he's got everything he needs in his hand. It usually shows him with the world, and he's looking out to see where to go. But if you don't start moving, then you lose momentum. And that's kind of what I feel like is happening here. You feel like there's nowhere to go. Like, what am I supposed to do? So you keep going back. You keep heading backwards, and that's what you're stuck to. Like, this isn't what I planned. It's almost like you keep getting frustrated because this was not your plan. And it sounds odd because I don't know a lot of Pisces that act that way, but you feel like it should have gone a different way. I will say, like, no matter what, you keep working at it because it will come in eventually if you're working hard. The star is in your negative, and I think that's exactly what this star is saying. You feel like, and only from the other cards that we've read, is you feel like I should have gotten more. So you feel like you almost feel like you deserve more, but I don't want to say deserve. I feel like you feel like, because I don't feel like it's that selfish. I honestly don't. I feel like it's more, this was my expectation, and I'm not getting my expectations, but I'm absolutely stuck on this idea with the devil. So you can't get it out of your brain. And that's what's causing the star to be in your negative. And when you start thinking like you're not going to get your wishes, that's when you can make that happen, is not get to your wishes. So keep that in mind. Like, that just because they didn't happen now doesn't mean they won't happen. There may be a hiccup along the way because you need that hiccup. Remember that, Spirit says, okay, well, if I give you this, then you're not going to take this path, and you have to go on this path, because if you don't, you're not going to meet XYZ, or you're not going to learn XYZ lesson, or, something. So it's like, you've got to go there. You've got to do it. I do like the fact that in your positive, you have the 8 of Cups. So you're ready. You're ready. You will be ready to move forward when you so choose to do so. Because right now, until you let go of some of that expectation, it's not going to happen. But I feel like it will. Because the 8 of Cups, you're ready. You're ready to let go. You want to reach that 9 of Cups, that star. They're the same type of energy. Your wishes fulfilled. And I feel like you will. Is there anything else we need to know about this 8 of Cups for our Pisces? The star keeps popping up. So this is important to you. This is really important to you, this star, this energy. But you've got the star, the High Priestess, and the 7 of Wands. You are sticking to your guns here. So we've already talked about the star, the hopes, the dreams. The High Priestess is, this is for you. Like, it's stuck in your mind, but you also feel it. And the 7 of Wands is not letting it go. You're going to protect that for everything it's worth. You're protecting it. And that's you're not walking away from any of these things. You're walking towards what you really want. What are your real dreams? Because your intuition is telling you you got to keep moving. And I think you know this, right? Like you're frustrated with some things, but you know this for sure. And we have the High Priestess over here. So there's something very much to be said to really trust your intuition, but there's a little bit of frustration right now. And it feels more like that, like a frustration. Don't let it get you down. Seven of Pentacles is what you don't see. Okay, so I'm going to be honest. My first intention with all of these cards is Spirit's making things happen. It just takes time. And things have to play out just as they need to play out because you need those lessons or to meet those people or to take that path. The Seven of Pentacles is that garden that's being built. It's what you're not seeing. Okay, so this is and you may not ever see this until it happens. So know that things are happening behind the scenes. The Seven of Pentacles, things are growing, things are cultivating for you to be able to reach those dreams, that higher aspiration. The Seven of Cups is what to look for. You have to see like all your choices. What's really happening out there? There's a reason why I'm not getting this exact thing. And I think it's very specific what you're looking for. And there's a reason. So what are my other choices right now? This doesn't mean forever. This means now. What are my other choices? I have to look at all of the things. Because unless I look at all of the things, then I'm constantly, I may not ever get to the ultimate, right? If you keep fighting it, then you may not ever feel like you get to the ultimate thing. Again, the wheel is in your present influence. So I feel like too that says, along with that Seven of Pentacles, you're on the path. You're on the path. But know that, you may have to make another choice in the meantime, which is pretty stressful. So unexpected energy of strength. You can do this. You have more strength than you may think you do. The strength in here is very soft strength. That's what's going to come in unexpectedly. You're going to have an aha moment or something that makes you really feel like, okay, I've got this. I can do it. I can do it. A challenge comes in, and that's the King of Wands. I'm going to clarify this King of Wands. Let's see what this King of Wands is. So the King of Wands is energy, is a doer, by the way. They are a fire sign for sure. Can be any fire sign, but let's see if it's somebody. It's a challenge. I think it's more taking on that persona, being a leader, being motivated by the changes that you want to make or do make. Tell me more about this King of Wands, please, for our Pisces in the challenge. Justice, Five of Wands, and the Empress. Okay, so the Empress is your overall reading. I feel like, okay, so with the Justice there, with the Justice, you're conflicted about an answer. So you're having a challenge. So someone, I feel like the King of Wands is somebody where it's almost like you feel like they may be the cause of you not getting what you want, because even though there was something that justice that was like relayed, and it feels like it, even if it's not like court of loss like stuff, but it feels like some kind of, this is what has to be done, this is the balance that has to come in, you're still conflicted with it. So this person, I feel like, is, even though you may be feeling like there is balance, you're still not there yet, because honestly, this is a challenge, and I feel like you're giving a lot to this situation, and you're almost feeling like you're not getting it back. You're not getting the balance back in the situation. This could be a partnership. This could be a friend of any kind. It could be a boss. It could be up to you, whatever that is. But it's someone where you feel like, I've given everything to this, and I've been really Empress. I've been really nurturing this situation, but I'm conflicted with how much I'm getting back, the balance in this situation. Now, again, this is someone that put it in with the reading, whether it's a relationship reading to you or whether it's a, work related, home related, family related. So what do we have here? Now look at this. So in the future, you are going to be influenced by taking a leap of faith. This is an influence, and you're going to realize that you need to let yourself free from these ties from the devil. He has cut himself free from these ropes. Okay. So once he does that, then he's free to leave, to do whatever. And this is not necessarily, I mean, this for some people, yeah, it absolutely could be like leaving a person, but it's leaving the attachment. So, like, if it was an attachment of an idea, like understanding that I have to have this or I have to have that, this is that you're leaving that attachment. If it's a person, you're done with it. You're you're realizing that this is an influence, so it's not predictive. It's the energies that will be influencing you in the future, and it's to free yourself. And that's the energy that you are going to be putting in. Now, the outcome is the Nine of Swords, because anytime we take changes or make changes, there's going to be a little bit of stress. Let's clarify the Nine of Swords. What is this Nine of Swords for our Pisces, please? Ace of Swords, Queen of Wands, Judgment. It's really interesting to have the Queen of Wands show up here too, because that the King of Wands there, but I feel like there may be something where you feel like you need to rekindle this. So even though you're freeing yourself, there's a feeling with the Ace of Wands to the Queen of Wands that you need to, and the Judgment, come back into this situation and back into these ties. So you're, however, I don't feel like this is you doing that. I feel like that's what's stressing you out. That's what the Nine of Swords is. It's that I feel like I should be doing this. And so now I'm in a position of being a little bit stressed and anxious. I'm not sure if I made the right decision, second guessing yourself, being stressed. Now let's keep going. Now this could be a person, or I mean, again, if you are making changes and you don't feel like you're getting the right thing, but then you go, okay, I'm going to free myself from this attachment, and then you feel like, oh shoot, am I doing the right thing? It's going to cause that stress, and it's short-lived. It's not going to be forever. This is not. It's just when I say outcome, it's because you make a choice, and you're a little stressed about that choice. I mean, that's natural to be stressed about a choice. So then we have the Four of Swords. We've got the Four of Wands and the High Priestess is where everything leads. So this would be kind of like the direction everything goes. So I feel like with the Four of Swords, you're going to take a little break on this whole idea. Like you go, okay, I need to just chill, because the stress has got you a little bit up in arms a little bit. It's going to lead to the Four of Swords where, okay, I just need to take a break. I need to lay low, just chill out. And then we've got the Four of Wands, which is, celebrating, but it's going to come after you take a break here. And I feel like this is almost like you celebrating with yourself, like being proud of yourself, celebrating what you've done, what you've accomplished, because you have accomplished something here. Even though you might not feel it's exactly what you wanted, or it didn't actually happen exactly the way you wanted it to go, you're going to end up being happy with it because you're putting the work in. And then it leads to the High Priestess, which I honestly feel like that is exactly where it needs to go, to understand that, trusting your intuition is exactly what you need to do to keep moving forward or to reach these goals that you have. Because just because they're not happening now doesn't mean they won't happen. It's just Spirit has another road for you for the moment. Maybe they need you to intervene with someone else so that, you can change their life. Or, there's so many things in life where we don't realize that we need to be in certain spots at certain times, And sometimes even like when we don't feel like we're anywhere, we really are, because we're waiting for the next thing. So There you have it. Let's pull an oracle card for um, closing out, advice, or last thoughts. Let's take a look at what our Pisces need to take with them for December. What do our Pisces need to take with them? I feel like there's a card it wants me to have. This almost looks like the 10 of Wands. It's called the Weight. And in this deck, it almost looks the same. So it's the Weight. Weight, like Weight, heaviness. Let me look it up, please. Yeah, I've been telling all the in all my recordings, 121. This Oracle deck is beautiful. I love this artist. He's the same artist that does the Somnia Tarot. It's the Somnia Oracle. However, it's his first Oracle, and there's no numbers on the cards, and the book is not in alphabetical order. So I went through all the cards, put them in alphabetical order, so I know where to find them. Otherwise, it takes forever. 121. Okay, the Weight. It's literally the Weight. Imminence, suspense, urgency, responsibility, overload, obligations. Kind of sounds right. So the Weight portrays a metaphor for oppressive responsibilities and perpetual rumination. The surrounding estuary underscores the liminal state, sometimes, where the individual is caught between opposing forces, land and sea, safety and risk. And that might be a little bit what's happening here. Stagnation and the release of tension. These elements coalesce into psychological narrative, inviting a reflection on how we confront to or avoid our stressors. We are reminded that through action, we have the power to free ourselves from being crushed by the weight of our own burdens. And that's what's happening here with that Devil card, to be honest with you. And it's up to you on how you want to deal with that attachment, and to either let go of it or hang on to it, you know? But either way, that's not a judgy thing. I was just being quite frank. You can do whatever you like. And to know that the work that you put in is up to you on how you want to release that pressure, because most pressure is put on by ourselves, from ourselves. We may say, hey, my boss is pressuring me to do XYZ. Well, you choose to do it or don't. Well, I can't not do it because I'll get fired. It's still a choice. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's necessarily a good choice to not do it because you don't want to get fired, but so we all kind of put our own stressors. And it's a perception too. Like, in that case where you say, oh, my boss says, but do XYZ, and I don't feel like it's right, or I feel pressure to have it done in that amount of time. Well, maybe have that conversation, or, maybe look at another way to deal with it. In other words, if there's something that you feel like is holding you back, or that's not happening the way you want to, then you just need to address that. In whatever way it's hard for me to say exactly, but whatever way that situation would be the best way to do it. So there you have your reading for December. I hope you enjoyed that, Pisces. And remember, please hit that thumbs up button. Take care. Have a beautiful day.